Hello, everybody. Good day. How you doing? Today, I want to talk about the Premier League, and I think it is broken. Yeah, we know that the Premier League is a very big stream of income for English football, and the FA makes a lot of money. The referees, the leagues, the clubs, everybody doing well. Players go to the Premier League and get rich, but the Premier League is broken. Why do I say so? We have been trying to fight Manchester City for years, taking them to court on and on. That Manchester City moved in money to the Premier League that gave them a sporting advantage that helped them win titles, Premier Leagues, Carabao Cup, FA Cups, and even the Champions League over like a decade. Manchester City has been so successful, and because of that money that they put into their club through illegal means, it gave them a sporting advantage over other clubs. And they've been fighting Manchester City for years, maybe 3 years now, 4 years in court, and so far there's no evidence that Manchester City did anything bad. You know, on one hand, I'm kind of jealous of Manchester City that they have owners that are willing to break the rules and find a way to bring in money to give their club an advantage, win trophies, and make their fans happy. That's a good thing. That's if you're a Manchester City fan, you should be happy. Then again, if you're that type that has a conscience that like to obey the rules, you feel like it's not fair. But who cares? You won the league over and over again because of your sporting advantage. Now Chelsea did the same thing. Now Manchester City did that, and the Premier League looked like an idiot because they're not able to prove it or do anything to Manchester City. Instead, Manchester City is still. We just saw the other day they won the Carabao Cup against Arsenal, and that's not what I'm paying. I'm just talking about football and its advantage. I'm just talking. So we saw Chelsea do the same. They paid £5 million to an agent, illegal payment that was not recorded. They didn't tell us about it, and they bought Eden Hazard that year. And because they bought Eden Hazard, they won the Premier League. They won different trophies due to a player like Eden Hazard. And you know, Manchester United wanted to buy him, City wanted to buy him, but he chose Chelsea because of that £5 million that they could pay to his agent to get that advantage, illegal means of payment. Now, what did the Premier League do? Premier League consider the fact that Chelsea reported themselves maybe after like almost 10 years, after 8 years, they reported themselves, and the ownership has been changed. So these new guys that own Chelsea are not guilty. So they just say, okay, no problem. We just find you £10.75 million, and everybody move on. We suspend you for 1 year. You're not able to buy players. Suspended transfer ban, meaning they can still buy, but the commit another offense then to come in. So it look like what's £10 million in football? Nothing. So Chelsea got away with it. Manchester City are still getting away with it, and the rest of the Premier League look like an idiot. So the Premier League is broken. The Premier League is broken, and you have clubs like Nottingham Forest, Everton deducted points last 2 seasons, or last 2 seasons they were deducted points, and just like that, probably because Everton and Nottingham Forest are not rich clubs. They don't have money like the legendary clubs in the league like Arsenal, Manchester United, City, Chelsea, and maybe Tottenham, even if it's laughable. So the Premier League is broken. The Premier League is disgusting, and even if it has the biggest names, has the biggest brand, has the biggest endorsement, has the biggest broadcasting revenue, but the fact that they are not following their own rules that is set means that the Premier League is broken, and it's rubbish. It's rubbish. So we have Chelsea doing what they like, City doing what they like, and who knows who else have done what they like that we don't even know about. But it's unfair that clubs like Everton and Nottingham Forest get consequence while Chelsea and Manchester City are left free. Now, I also want to talk about Chelsea. I want to talk about what is wrong with Chelsea. Well, I'm not blaming Chelsea for that. They just gave themselves a sporting advantage. Everybody wants to win, and they found a way to win. So that's not it. I'm not even angry that Chelsea sold their women's team to themselves. I think if rules are written down and we can find a way to break those rules and there will be no consequence, why not? Everybody go ahead. It's the stupid people that created those laws that are to be questioned, not Chelsea Football Club. Instead, question the Premier League, question the FA for doing nothing about it. Now, Chelsea has been in the news since yesterday. They have the biggest spending on agents, they have the biggest transfers, and they have the biggest losses. When I look at the biggest transfer, I just laugh. Because what did you buy last season? We bought a player like Garnacho, Alejandro Garnacho, Jamie Gittins, and Hato. So you're buying players that I don't rate, nobody cares about, and you are spending so much money for buying players that are not to be talked about, players that cannot give you a good season, players that are not even sure you get to the Champions League. You know, Chelsea was in a bad state 3 4 years ago after the club was sold from Abramovich to Todd Bowley, the American guy, and since then They have been in a transition period. Toboli has spent a lot of money, we know, but on the wrong things. He spent money wrongly. And Chelsea was almost like a mid-table team then, and later they started building, qualified to the conference league with Pochettino, sacked Pochettino, then got the new manager Enzo Maresca, and they won the conference league, won the they also won the FIFA Club World Cup, and now it looks like they might be going back to the conference league because they are not sure if they get the Champions League qualification again. So Chelsea has been losing money. Chelsea lost about £260 million. So I don't know. Chelsea is just laughable. It's laughable what they are doing, but I don't think their fans are happy, and we have players wanting to leave. We saw yesterday Enzo Fernandez talking about how he would like to live in Madrid and stuff like that. So I think Chelsea has a lot of work to do, and they keep going down the way I see it. I don't see them doing anything good this season. So that's it, guys. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.